Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to beautiful downtown Jefferson City for this first installment of the River City Baseball Festival, featuring the Bulldogs of Rolla and the Blair Oaks Falcons.
Welcome back, Falcons. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. See you next game.
Now for the Falcons, number 8, Mr. Kason Lance. Number 5, Mr. Gage Leffert. Number 4, Mr. Vander Halford. Number 21, Mr. Hayden Lackman. Number 12, Mr. Carson. Number 19, Mr. Kaden Schulte. Number 13, Mr. Carson Verslues. Number 3, Mr. Mitchell Rogers. And number 1, Mr. Warren Davis. Now,
Halford entered this game with just a 1.2 ERA. Threw a no-hitter last year against Mexico back on May 1st. An electric lefty arm for the Falcons.
Peter Smith getting a nice lead over there at first base.
1-1. Peter Smith takes off. Ball's put on the ground. It'll be fielded cleanly by Lance at second base, and he will retire Richter for the first out in the top of the first inning. Peter Smith reaches second, and that'll bring up Jack Myrowitz for the Bulldogs, batting third. Catching for Halford is Carson Verslues behind the plate. Peter Smith takes off for third, and he will get there successfully. The throw was late, and the Bulldogs got themselves a runner 90 feet away from scoring here with just one out in the top of the first.
Peter Smith looks like he's going to be an issue on the base paths the rest of the night here for the Blair Oaks Falcons as he's taking every bag.
You can see the aggression from Rolla early. These two teams met last year. Blair Oaks on the winning side of things, taking that ball game 12-8. It was a high-scoring affair. Expect to see a similar result today. Here's a diving play by Warren Davis at third base. He will retire Myrowitz, but not before Colton Peter Smith comes across to score the first run of this afternoon's ball game. I've talked about this on a couple of the highlights broadcasts we've done this year on Midmo Sports Online. I'm a big fan of a dirt field rather than a turf field. What are your thoughts on that, Hayden? Absolutely.
As a kid who played baseball growing up and almost played in high school before he decided to go on and play soccer further, but I would like to see more dirt fields. With the issue with turf being they tend to give the ball a weird little bounce on ground balls, especially in the infield. And at JC's ballpark here, they have an all-turf infield, but they have a normal grass outfield and a dirt warning track back along the walls and down the line there. So
0-2 from Halford is cut on and missed by Riker Snodgrass. But not after one comes across for the Bulldogs off of two swipes of bases by Colton Peter Smith and an RBI ground out from Jack Myrowitz. That brings us to the home half of the first inning here, where the Blair Oaks Falcons will come to bat next, as you're watching Blair Oaks Falcons baseball here on Midmo Sports Online, streaming through Mission TV. It'll be Kason Lance, the junior second baseman, lead it off for the Blair Oaks Falcons. Rolla's Peter Smith walked in the first AB of the game. Now Lance will take a base on a walk. Bottom half of the first inning will make way for the cleanup hitter, the center fielder, Hayden Lackman. How about that, though? Ball gets past Chase Williams behind the plate, so Lance will take third.
Kind of crazy, and if I'm not mistaken, he ended up in the stands after one of them.
That was the final one he caught of the game that ended it. This one runs in and drills Lackman right in the ankle. It'll be a hit by pitch for Babu. Put runners on the corners here for the left fielder, Carson Sanning.
Number 12, Mr. Carson Sanning.
Lackman's going to take off before the pitch. Babu wasn't expecting it. He'll swipe second. And that'll move two Falcons into scoring position here. Good awareness by Hayden Lackman.
What a move that was. He knows that if he tries to throw it to second base, then that runner's going to take off towards home. So he had nothing better to do than to take it, put two runners in scoring position, and a chance for a 2 RBI hit here.
1-1 to Sanning, runs in and drills him in the elbow. He's going to take the trot down to the open first base, and that'll load the bases here in the bottom of the first inning for Kaden Schulte, the first baseman, the senior wearing number 19.
Nice weather, clouds kind of covering up the sun, winds blowing.
Schulte takes a pitch just inside for ball 4. Spaboo walks his 4th in the first inning, and it drives in a run. It's an RBI walk for Kaden Schulte.
Now batting number 13, Mr. Carson Verslues.
Odds are game back at 1 here in the first inning. One's across the scoreboard. Something diamond.
Yeah. I don't really follow him too closely. Mainly focused on Cardinal baseball when this time of year rolls around.
2-2 to Verslues is off of his hands. Dribble to the third baseman, Snodgrass. He'll fire to first. The throw won't be in time. And then coming across the score again is Sanning, and the Falcons will put 2 across off of a dink of a hit by Carson Verslues, and they will take a commanding 3-1 lead in the bottom of the first inning.
I got to change, kids.
To retire the Falcons here in the bottom of the first inning. Not after they get 3 across, though, off of a 2 RBI single from the catcher Carson Verslues. That puts an end to the first inning of play. We'll be back for the second as you're watching Blair Oaks baseball here on Midmost Sports Online, streaming through Misha TV, who are now 11-2 on the season after they lost last night against Jefferson City. That was a 6-5 win for the Jays, but the Bulldogs still 7-3 in their last 10. The 0-2 is sent into the air. Coming in is Lackman to make the first out at the top of the second inning.
But again, as a catcher, you want to see how long you can wait until it rolls foul.
The 1-2 from Vander Halford. It's swung on and missed by Logan Jenkins, and it's the second strikeout for the junior Halford. From Halford coming to the catcher Chase Williams, the number 9 hitter for the Bulldogs today. Covey on second. The 1-2 from Vander is chopped to the third baseman Warren Davis. He'll have to charge and fire to the first baseman Kaden Schulte, who makes the grab and retires the Bulldogs, stranding the leadoff runner Covey in the top of the second inning. We'll send it to the bottom of the second next, with the Blair Oaks Falcons leading 3-1 here at Jefferson City High School, as you're watching Blair Oaks baseball here on Midmost Sports Online.
Starting back off for the Falcons, number 1, Mr. Warren.
4 Falcons in the first inning. Davis sends a ground ball to the diving third baseman Snodgrass. Will he have time to make the play? He will not. Ball gets past Jenkins at first base. Davis is going to swipe second on the throwing air, and now it goes wildly into left field. Covey able to retrieve it, and it's a single with a one-base error for Warren Davis to kick off the bottom of the second inning for the Falcons.
Blair Oaks' hitters have a real, nice discipline at the plate.
They wait for their pitch, as there's the pitch that Lance swings at, driven deep into the center field area. Peter Smith tracks it down. Davis tags for third and slides in safely.
Way to go, Kason!
Leffert takes high, ball 4 above his head. Puts runners on the corners for the Falcons. Vander Halford, he lined out to the center fielder in his first at-bat. And is there another spot that I'm blanking on?
Capital City, Jefferson City, Southern Boone, Blair Oaks.
And Blair Oaks, the team that's playing. There's another rip into center field by Halford, yet again right to Peter Smith. Davis going to tag and will score the 4th run of the ball game for Blair Oaks. Leffert will swipe second on the wild throw, and it's a sac fly for Vander Halford. So the Falcons get one more across off of a sac fly from Vander Halford, scoring Warren Davis from third. We'll be back for the top of the third inning next, as you're watching Blair Oaks baseball here on Midmost Sports Online.
Back here in Jefferson City, Missouri for the top half of the third inning. My name is Hayden Burks, joining as play-by-play for these next 2 innings. As Rolla starts things off with Peter Smith, and he's going to ground one hard to first base, and they will retire him. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Blair Oaks Falcons.
Good glove by Schulte over there at first base, making quick work of the Nebraska Cornhusker commit.
Halford now will go from the stretch. The lead on second. He's going to be held on by the second baseman, but the pitch comes home and is going to be grounded to shortstop, muffled on the receive, thrown over to first, and he got him.
Nice job by Kaden Schulte at first base again this inning. Made a nice pick for the first out and able to get the foot on the bag to retire Myrowitz.
Let's see what Halford has up his sleeve for the rest of this at-bat. And another balk is going to be called. So that will bring the runner on home.
Here you go, Vander.
1-2 is swung on straight back and foul. Count will stay 1-2. It's 1-2 yet again. Is going to be in there for strike 3, and he sits him down looking to end the inning. At the end of 2.5 innings, it is Bulldogs 2, Falcons 4. We will be right back with the bottom half of the third right after these messages on Midmo Sports Online.
Yeah, Jenkins had a tough time in his first at-bat striking out.
And strike 3 down the heart of the plate. Sits him down. That is his.
So we like to call a little backwards K. Off speed from Halford.
1-0, 2 outs, 2 runners on for Chase Williams, the catcher for Rolla. He grounds one to short, fielded cleanly, thrown over to first, and they will retire the Rolla Bulldogs and get out of the inning without allowing a run. So to the bottom of the fourth we go, and we'll be back with that right after these messages on Midmo Sports Online. Second pitch gets inside and hits him, so he'll walk on down to first base. Oh yeah, get to see exactly where the ball lands in the catcher's mitts and get a lot of foul tips or pass balls right back in our faces.
See what it's like to be an umpire.
Runner takes off for second, pitch in there for a strike, and the ball gets away, barely reaches the outfield grass. Now the Falcons have one in scoring position. And he turns on one. That gets down into right field. Coming around to score. And he is going to be tagged out at the plate. What a play by the right fielder in Jack Mirowitz for the Rolla Bulldogs to retire the Blair Oaks Falcons.
Myrowitz put that one on the money to sit down Lance, who tried to come across to score, but also nice piece of hitting from Halford to sit back on that off speed, keep his weight back, and punch that ball into right field. But the arm was just a little bit better for Myrowitz to set the Falcons down the bottom of the fourth. First hit batter by Vander in this game, and his first walk allowed, you might say, since his first inning on the mound. Brings up Landon Richter. Richter sends a sky-high fly ball. Davis camps under it for the first out of the inning for the Falcons.
That was a towering infield pop-up there.
Mound visit here for the Falcons. And talk it over with Vander. In his fifth inning of work.
Jeff City, Capital City, then you go up to Southern Boone.
Snodgrass sends a hard ground ball to Lance, who throws out Snodgrass, but he'll go in as an RBI ground out as Myrowitz comes across to score.
Yeah, now we're all tied back pretty much to where we started.
Vander Halford trying to get through his fifth inning of work. Runner on third is Thomas. Covey, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Halford works out of the top of the fifth inning allowing just 2 runs, and it's back to square one for the Falcons and Bulldogs here at Jefferson City High School. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th next here on Midmost Sports Online, streaming through Mission TV.
Beautiful weather, clouds making sure the sun doesn't play too much of an effect.
Schulte sends a rocket to the shortstop Thomas, who can't field it cleanly. Nobody would have been able to field that cleanly, and Schulte reaches on a base hit, we'll call it. Brings up the catcher Carson Verslues, 1 for 2 on the day with a 2 RBI single back in the 1st inning. Verslues sends a ground ball to the diving third baseman Snodgrass. Are you kidding me? No. Verslues beats it, safe at first. Sanning gonna swipe third on the throwing error. And there'll be runners on the corners for the Falcons here with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. In the bottom of the 5th threat for the Falcons. No runs come across. 2 runners stay on base. We'll be back for the top of the 6th inning as you're watching Blair Oaks baseball here on Midmost Sports Online. New pitcher for the Falcons. It was the former first baseman, now relieving pitcher Kaden Schulte. He's going to relieve Vander Halford after 5 innings of work from the junior. Allowed just 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 3, and struck out 4.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third.
Williams gets a bunt down to Schulte. He will flip to the covering second baseman, Lance, to pick up the first out in the top of the 6th inning for Blair Oaks. Advances Babu to third and Jenkins to second.
Blair Oaks, they bring in some really tough kids, man.
Yeah. Get on the umpire to give Carson Verslues some time to resettle for this 1-1 offering from Schulte. That is sent into center field. It's short. Charging in is Lackman. There might be a play at the plate. Tagging is Sabu. There will be a play at the plate. Sabu is out by a mile. No, he wants it out of the glove. Sabu will be ruled safe, and the Bulldogs will take the lead. Fouled back over the net. Full count here with 2 outs. Schulte 1 strike away from working out of the 6th inning, just allowing 1.
Let's see, full count here. See what Schulte has in store.
Swung on and missed by Myrowicz. Strike 3 for Kaden Schulte, and allows just 1 run. Strands the other 2 Bulldogs at second and third, and the Falcons have some work to do in the bottom of the 6th inning next as you're watching Blair Oaks baseball here on Midmost Sports Online, streaming through Mission TV. Playing some baseball.
Maybe some tired arms, tired players. Gage takes ball 4. He'll head on down to first. Curious to see if Gage will take off towards second. He's been toying around with it.
And they caught him. In a pickle is Leffert. The ball is lost. It was not caught, and Leffert maybe dove into the shortstop, Jensen Thomas, to break that up, and will be standing up on second base. So now you have the tying run in scoring position with a full count pitch still to come to Vander.
Yeah, Gage lucky on that one. He dove head first, so it's a clean slide. He wasn't intending to take out the second baseman. However, a little dangerous base running by the Blair Oaks Falcons here today, taking off way before the pitcher's leg even comes up.
Full count pitch. Vander sends a ground ball to Richter at second base. He bobbled it. Vander hustling. He's safe. The tying run coming across to score. He is safe. Leffert ties the ball game at 5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that's all you got to do if you're Blair Oaks, is put the ball in play, make Rolla make a mistake, and Vander Halford did just that there. Halford takes off, doesn't matter. It hits Lackman on the off-speed pitch, and there's the second walk of the inning surrendered by Chase Hudson. It's the second time Lackman's been hit in this baseball game. The go-ahead run at second base is Vander Halford. Carson Sanning 0 for 1. He struck out and walked twice in his first 2 plate appearances.
Now batting number 2, Mr. Wyatt Libbert.
Excuse me, we have a pinch hitter. It'll be Wyatt Libbert stepping in for Carson Sanning here in the bottom of the 6th. Takes first pitch, ball high.
Make it good, Biggin.
Hudson set down the first 2 Falcons in this bottom of the 6th inning. He struck out Warren Davis and made Kason Lance ground out to second base. Since then, 3 Falcons have reached. One of them came across a score. It was Gage Leffert. on an E4 by Richter at second base. The 2-1 is sent by Libbert to left field. Retreating back is Covey. This ball is off the wall. Halford scores. Digging for the plate is Lackman, and the Falcons take a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 6th inning off of a double from Wyatt Libbert.
What a hit. That ball, exactly what I just said before that pitch. I'd love to see someone kind of get a hold of one, and he sent that one all the way to the wall. Didn't bounce, just hit right off.
Next to the second base bag, makes the grab and puts an end now officially to the bottom of the 6th inning. Not after the Falcons get 3 across off of a 2 RBI double from Wyatt Libbert. And now the Falcons are just 3 outs away from a Day 1 Missouri River Festival tournament win. We'll be back for the call of the top of the 7th inning next here on Midmo Sports Online. Closer into the game for the Falcons is Braden Schaefer. And the first pitch that he has is bunted by Jensen Thomas, and he is retired for a very quick first out on the first pitch that Schaefer throws.
Yeah, what a way to start the inning. Tries to bunt to get him a runner there.
Answered in the bottom of the 6th with 3 runs to take a 2-run lead here to the top of the 7th. Third baseman Riker Sodgrass, who is 0 for 3 on the day with an RBI. He struck out back in the first inning. 1-2 from Schaefer to Snodgrass. Out in front of an off-speed pitch. Strike 3 for Braden Schaefer. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 7th, and the Falcons are 1 out away from a win against the Rolla Bulldogs.
That was disgusting. Absolutely filthy pitch. Caught him way out in front. And now they're down to their final out.
Ruger Covey, the last hope for the Rolla Bulldogs here. He needs to get on. Schaefer's 1-0 to Covey. It's sit on the ground to the second baseman Lance. Fire it to Halford at first, and that's your ball game. The Blair Oaks Falcons take the first of 3 games here on Midmo Sports Online with a 7-5 victory over the Rolla Bulldogs.
Yeah, what a great game. Blair Oaks comes out in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They defeat the Rolla Bulldogs yet again, and that's how we start this Missouri River Festival Game 1. Next on tap is going to be Helias and St. E, where I will be replaced by Austin's partner throughout the whole year in Brendan. But what a great way to start this with a nice Blair Oaks win.